Yes. Any day now. Any day. Hey guys, Metroid Prime 4 was announced at E3 2017 and it was freaking met with huge fanfare. People were excited. Then unfortunately in the beginning of 2019, it was announced that the game was being scrapped and start over from fresh with the original developers, Retro Studios, on board. They made the original trilogy. So people were pretty excited, but now it's been a while and we've heard nothing about the game. So you know, I figured, hey, how about I make a prediction video? So in this video, I'm going to give you guys my 5 biggest predictions for Metroid Prime 4. Not much more to say. Grab your favorite snack. Yum, 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 yum. Sit back and let's go! Before I start this list, I do need to say this video is for my subscribers, so I'll give you guys a second to hit that button. Alright, now that you're subbed, let's get right into this list. And the first thing that I'm predicting is there will be mild RPG elements. Now let me say that again, very, very mild. I know if you change the formula to a Metroid game, Metroid Prime game especially, the fans will freak out. And so when I say mild RPG, I really mean some sort of skill tree. You know, Metroid is all about getting items, finding new items, unlocking old areas, but maybe there'll be some sort of skill tree. So when Samus turns into a ball or she gets a certain type of gun, maybe it gets a little better. Maybe she gets a double jump at some point when there's a big area that needs some very precise platforming. I'm just saying, you know, games 10-15 years ago were a little more simple. For 2021 and beyond, people like that little bit of extra. And I don't think a skill tree, or a mild skill tree at that, would really affect, you know, the formula and what makes a good Metroid game a Metroid game. But you know, there's a lot of options when it comes to skill trees. So my second prediction would be to add modes, and more precisely add side missions. Just imagine this, you have your regular single player story mode, but then you have all these side missions, and the side missions could be really cool things, like how about this, you actually become a bounty hunter and have to travel all over the galaxy, or maybe the planet you're on, trying to actually catch the person who has a bounty on them. And there could be the easy bounties and the hard bounties. And maybe you're actually given all the bounties in the beginning, and if you want to try to capture a really hard bad guy in the beginning, good luck, you'll probably fail, but you know, you got a good shot. This could really just break up the gameplay, especially if you're doing the normal storyline and maybe you got into a part that's very frustrating you or you don't know what to do. Maybe you could take a break, do one of these side missions, do a quick bounty hunt, and then get back to it. And the reward for the actual side missions or bounty hunter could be points that you could redeem, guess this, get this, at your skill tree, right? So maybe you get points throughout the main story, you could add to your skill tree, but also bounty hunter points can maybe get you double points, or get you special skill trees that only special bounty hunter missions get you. I know it's just an option to break up the gameplay and make this game a little bigger and a little more variety than just the single player story. This third prediction is probably the most realistic and the one that's probably going to come true, and it's that Metroid Prime 4 will get a title. That's right, Metroid Prime 4 will definitely have some sort of word or new name. Metroid Prime 2 was called Echoes, Metroid Prime 3 was Corruption, so Metroid Prime 4, maybe it'll be called Metroid Prime Forever, Metroid Prime Endgame, Metroid Prime Judgment Day. Let me think of another sequel that has a good tagline. How about Metroid Prime Far From Home? That's already taken. Anyway, I do think that this new Metroid Prime game is going to be the start of a brand new trilogy, so let's give it a good name to start it off. They're not making this whole new engine and going through all this development for just one game. There's going to be a few new Metroid games. Let's start it off with a great title. Prediction number 4 has to do with the bad guys in this game. Ridley has been in most Metroid games, and so have the Space Pirates, so I think it's time we switch it up a little bit. I mean, we've seen Ridley in all different sorts and shape, and I'm not trying to turn Ridley into Gremlins 2. I don't want to see Ridley as a water type, I don't want to see him a lightning type, I definitely don't want to see him as a broccoli type. No more Ridley. Come on, please, something new. We learned at Samus Returns that they could do a lot of things with the actual Metroid. So let's see what kind of creativity they have. I mean, there's so many different variations and options when it comes to the Metroid. Maybe you could fuse with different species. I mean, there's so many things they could do with it. I want to see some huge, massive boss battles. Metroid is known for their boss battles. Starting with Super Metroid and on, boss battles have been crazy, and I would love to see some amazing boss battles in this new game. Similar to like God of War, I would love to see huge aliens that are just massive, and Metroid has to kind of figure out their patterns and beat them. And also maybe we could do some kind of smaller, quick ones, but let's do some great boss battles with original new bad guys. I mean, we're talking space here, so you could do any type of monster you want. Maybe even Dark Samus. Hey, I don't mind fighting Dark Samus. Let's do it one more time. So for prediction number 5, let's talk about game layout. And by layout, I mean, what does this game actually look like? Is it going to be an open world game like Breath of the Wild? Is it going to be from a point A to point B game, very linear? And I don't think either one of those. The game that I compare this to, or what I would like it to be most similar to, is Jedi Fallen Order. And in that game, you have a spaceship and you could go from one planet to the next. Some of the planets you can't get to certain areas, so you have to go and get an item and then come back, and then those areas open up. What is that called again? Metroidvania? Oh. So yeah, you go from planet to planet. Maybe you have to go back to certain planets and certain areas open up for you, but I would definitely like some freedom where it's kind of up to the player to decide where he goes next. I mean, Metroid games are all about the ambience and the feel. I want Samus and the player to feel like they're alone in the dark, and there's a lot of areas to explore, but it is up to you to decide when you want to explore those areas. Also, when it comes to story, I love a good story in a game. It really keeps you going. Even when you played the game for 10, 15 hours, and maybe even if you're a little bored with the actual gameplay, a good story will keep you involved. So maybe we'll learn a little bit more about Samus's background, maybe learn more about the universe itself. But I think there's a lot of story to be told in this game, and I hope they tell a good one. So I know I said I was going to do 5 predictions, so here's like a bonus prediction. Now let's talk multiplayer. So multiplayer is an interesting thing when it comes to Nintendo. They usually don't do it that good, but how could we do Metroid Prime 4? So my first thought was, hey, how about we have a whole planet and we do a battle royale? But I was like, nah, let's go more classic and do like a 4-on-4 or 5-on-5 deathmatch, just classic, running through certain levels with your team, maybe do a capture the flag, or God forbid Nintendo gets creative and does something totally new multiplayer. I don't see Metroid being a co-op, you and somebody else running through a level. I see him more of like a competition where your team is going up someone else's team. I mean, if they say, hey, we actually came out with an awesome new battle royale, I wouldn't say no. I mean, how could you say no if it's fun? I think there will be a multiplayer aspect to this game. I just hope Nintendo does a really good job with it. I mean, the guys at Retro Studio know what they're doing, and they've had enough time to develop this game, so I'm sure the multiplayer will be just as good as the single player. I mean, not as good, but it'll be good nonetheless. So us Metroid fans have been waiting and waiting and waiting for any type of news on Metroid Prime 4. I know we got Samus Returns on the 3DS way back in 2017, and it's like, when are we going to get some Metroid Prime news? Unfortunately, I don't think this is a 2021 game. I think it's going to be a 2022 game, but I've actually made a recent prediction video. You can find that right here. I think we're actually going to get a new Metroid game this year, but I think it's going to be a 2D game. Probably be announced sometime over the summer, maybe even sooner than that, but I think we'll get a 2D Metroid game, and the big 3D game will come out next year. We'll also get a port of the first trilogy in HD, but that'll be more of a 2022 thing, unfortunately. Anyway, guys, what do you guys think of my predictions here? Are there any you agree with or any that you really disagree with? Let me know down in the comment section, right down there, and I'll be sure to get back to you. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I'm not sure if you knew this, but I actually have a Patreon, and for $1 a month, you can get your name at the end of all my videos, like right here. Pretty cool, right? $1. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I live stream a few days a week. I make a lot of prediction videos, discussion videos, so definitely hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, so next time I go live with content, you get it right away. Guys, I am Turbo Jesse. I'll see you on the flip side.